Here we go, Treadwell DPT back in with another anatomy breakdown, muscle by muscle. This time we're not talking about one specific muscle, but we're more on a full team effort. 4 heavy hitters that dominate the front of that thigh, responsible for every step, squat, jump, and lunge you make. We're breaking down that Quadriceps Femoris Group, Rectus Femoris, Vastus Lateralis, Medialis, and Intermedius. Gonna hit them all individually as well, so this is the intro into what should be a pretty nice mini series. Gonna stay relatively superficial, and then we're gonna dig deeper over the next couple of vids. Got 4 strong muscles that work together and generate massive knee extension torque, make up what is arguably the most powerful and well-known muscle group in the entire body. So let's dive in with origin, insertion, function, innervation, and of course a few clinical tidbits. So we'll start off with our origins, generally on and around that hip and proximal femur. Our rectus femoris kicks things off with a dual origin from the anterior inferior iliac spine and the superior rim of that hip socket, the acetabulum. The vastus lateralis takes off from the greater trochanter as well as the lateral lip of the linea aspera. Our vastus medialis comes from the intertrochanteric line and the medial lip of the linea aspera. And then lastly, our vastus intermedius, which is between medialis and lateralis, originates along the anterior and lateral surfaces of the femoral shaft, and it'll be deep to rectus femoris. All 4 converge to that thick quadriceps tendon, running down into the patella and continuing as the patellar ligament to insert into the tibial tuberosity. That common insertion gives this group its unified power line, driving the leg into extension every single time you rise, jump, or kick. But like I said, staying a little broad, a little superficial here. We're not going to go super deep into origins just yet. Got a group of 4 muscles on the front of the thigh. Start proximally and converge into a big, thick quadriceps tendon. So quickly to reiterate, rectus femoris has 2 originating points, one at the front of your pelvis, the AIIS, the anterior inferior iliac spine area, another in the hip socket area, the acetabular area. Vastus lateralis starts around that lateral portion of the proximal femur, and vastus medialis starts along the medial portion of the proximal femur. Lastly, deep vastus intermedius, anterior femur between those other 2 vastus muscles. Of course, all 4 coming together to form that quadriceps tendon, cross the knee, and we see here they attach to the tibial tuberosity. We'll add a few additional insights here as well. Above the patella, we're pretty comfortable calling that thick fibrous rope our quad tendon. But below the patella, you might hear a little bit of variation, so let's really talk about that for a second. Of course, tendons attach muscles to bones, so quadriceps tendon makes sense attaching the quads to the patella. Below the patella, you might hear either patellar ligament or patellar tendon. Of course, I'm no stickler, but definitely anytime we're going bone to bone, we're dealing with a ligament. So patellar ligament makes the most sense. Keep that in mind when you're studying. Some professors are a little picky about stuff like that, but I go either or. I don't think too hard about it. We're talking knee extension, we're talking quadriceps. That's a big takeaway. We're talking knee extension, we're talking quadriceps. These 4 muscles are knee extension. They really are. Every time you stand up from a chair, climb a step, kick a ball, you lock your leg out, it's the quadriceps pulling that movement off. Your quads are the powerhouse that strains the knee. Without them, the joint simply can't do what it's supposed to do. The quadriceps tendon anchors the quad muscles into the patella, and from there, the patellar tendon carries that force to the tibia. So when the quads contract, they're literally pulling the shin forward and opening up that knee. That's why they're absolutely essential for things we take for granted: walking, squatting, running, jumping, even just standing tall. In rehab, the quads are a difference between a shaky, unstable step and a strong, confident stride. And in performance settings, they're a major driver in producing that explosive power. Big picture, if knee extension is a motion, the quadriceps are the engine, the driving motor. Everything else is just along for the ride in that sense. Very easy innervation here. All 4 heads are going to be innervated by that femoral nerve, roots L2 through L4. one of the major players from that lumbar plexus that also gives rise to the saphenous nerve downstream. Saphenous nerve, of course, gives that cutaneous or skin innervation to the medial leg. Really, all of the anterior thigh, you could safely assume, is innervated by that femoral nerve. It's a very big, powerful nerve. So consider that this makes quad activation and knee extension strength a great indirect marker for femoral nerve integrity and a very important checkpoint for our neuro and post-op assessments. Just looking at the placement, we always talk about that femoral triangle and that femoral VAN, the femoral van. Let's talk about the significance of that for a second. Our femoral triangle is going to be made up of our sartorius laterally, our adductor longus medially, and then the inguinal ligament proximally. Running down that triangle, we've got our vessels, we've got our VAN. So medial lateral, we've got the femoral vein, then the artery, and then the nerve. Every single time in that order. So to reiterate, femoral VAN, femoral vein, medial to lateral, vein, then artery, then nerve. So remember, our quads are innervated by that femoral nerve, roots L2 through L4, and our supplying vessels, those structures that provide blood flow and innervation to that quadriceps, in that femoral triangle, VAN, medial to lateral. I really can't overstate how much quadriceps strength matters, not just in the gym, but in real clinical outcomes. I see so many post-op knee replacement patients, and I stress it so much. Lock in early and you'll be so happy you did down the line. Research shows that when quad strength lags, everything downstream suffers. So we really do want to hit quads heavy, heavy, heavy. After ACL surgery, for example, patients often deal with persistent quad weakness that can last for months or even years, and that's what directly limits their function and delays return to sports. That's also why modern rehab frameworks put so much emphasis on systematically rebuilding that quad strength, that quad size, getting that activation hypertrophy, progressive overload, tendon loading strategies. All type of things are going into rehab nowadays. ACLs used to be a career death sentence. I think back to when Adrian Peterson tore his ACL, and there was a huge conversation about if he'd be the same when he came back. Of course, he comes back equally as dominant. That was maybe a big turning point in how the injury was looked at. But it was a really interesting time because they were like, oh, he's not going to be the same. And he was. It was interesting. We've really fine-tuned and revolutionized rehab to the point where guys are back out there in 6-7 months these days and look as good as new. Post-op quad strength is hugely important in that regard, so we hit it very hard. It's interesting, we found that pre-op strength is just as important, if not more. People go into ACL surgery with weak quads and have worse functional outcomes a year later. So that highlights that prehab isn't just a PT buzzword, it's a very real predictor of recovery. You want quad strength before and after injury. Like I said, it's bigger than just sports injuries and sports rehab and total knee replacements as well. Quadriceps strength drops significantly right after surgery, of course, and remains depressed for months as well, so we got to build it back up. We got to really focus on that strength. I'm repeating myself a lot here, but I really got to hammer this home. Quad strength is so important. Consider we've got guys who've torn their ACLs and not known because their quads were so strong, their hamstrings were so strong, so they had that stability, right? Key takeaway, quadriceps strength is a clinical vital sign. Injury, pathology, post-op, I want to know about your quad strength. Quad strength predicts function, it drives recovery. Hugely important for maintaining independence as we age or deal with injuries. We said it earlier, if knee extension is the motion, the quads are that engine, that driving motor. And how well that engine performs can shape the entire rehab journey. So fairly general but good introductory information here. I had a conversation sort of recently. I can tell who the best athletes are just by looking at their legs. If you're lined up against a guy with way bigger quads than you, way bigger glutes than you, you're probably going to get blown up. So make sure we're getting our squats in. Do your leg press, do your knee extension, do your functional sport specific stuff. You'll be very, very happy that you did down the line. There's absolutely no question. The quads are very, very important. 4 muscles, 1 mission, knee extension, strength, stability, power. We'll go all over it. We'll go over all of it in great detail. A real deal powerhouse group that defines athletic performance and everyday movement. But yeah, like I said, good little intro. Much more to come though. Be on the lookout. Very good, easy introduction to what should be very informative as a series. So much more in store, even more to come. Stay tuned, stay locked. It's been Treadwell DPT. I'll catch you next time.